I might need to move to Atlantis.
Who should Manchester United sign at centre-back? Episode 4. For cheap good quality football jerseys, go over to www.jerseyfifa.com, a link will be left in the description, and use code atlantisfootball for 5% off. Before I get into the analysis, let me show you what's coming up in this video whilst I tell you about the OneFootball app, because this is the app I use to keep up to date with the latest circulating transfer rumours, and I find the match section on the app incredibly useful as well for looking at matches, clubs and players that I'm not able to watch on a regular basis. If you like this channel, you'll definitely love this app, so when you go to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, which would be very much appreciated, make sure you click the link in the description to also get the OneFootball app. So this is the 4th episode in this series. You can watch the first episode to find out who I think United should sell, the second and the third episodes to see the areas where I think United can improve, and as I stated, I think United can potentially spend anywhere between 130 million to 170 million pounds, with about 100 million of that being the net budget. As I spoke about in episode 2, United do need an improvement in the centre-back position. Maguire, Lindelof and Bailly are all very good individual defenders, but do have faults in their games, and that's why they are not top class. For Maguire, this is his acceleration and ability to defend in one-on-ones when isolated in his channel. For Lindelof, it's his aerial and positional ability from crosses, and for Bailly, it's his rash decision making and injury problems. Maguire is the best of the three in my opinion, so I will be looking for a left-sided partner for Maguire, as I think he can potentially move to the right side, which could aid his ball playing ability with his dribbles and passes forward. Age isn't as important for the centre-back that United get as say it would be for Chelsea, which I discussed in that transfer series, with them needing a centre-back under the age of 30 due to their ageing defence. But United have Shaw, Wan-Bissaka and Maguire, who are all under the age of 29, so United don't have to necessarily go out and bring in a young defender who can develop. They need to focus on current ability, as this is where the improvement can be seen immediately from the start of next season. The first option I would suggest is Luiz Felipe at Lazio. He's just turned 24 last month and has a contract at the Stadio Olimpico until next summer, meaning that this summer he'd probably be available for as little as 20 to 25 million pounds. Felipe is definitely more of a front foot defender than what United currently have. He can step out of the back line to intercept a pass or put in a strong tackle, which is exactly what United need alongside Maguire, Lindelof or Bailly, who are all more covering centre-backs who look to anticipate passes in behind the back line rather than stepping forward to approach the ball when it goes into the front line. His one-on-one defending ability is excellent, able to hold up an attacker with his body positioning and not overcommitting, instead waiting for the right time to put in a tackle. This can be seen as even though he has played just over 700 minutes in Serie A this season, he has completed the most tackles of any centre-back in the league with 3.3 per 90, only being dribbled past 0.9 times per 90, giving him a tackle success rate of over 75%. Another good option from Serie A would be Nikola Milenkovic, who like Felipe has just 1 year left on his current contract at Fiorentina, meaning that he'd probably be available for around £25 million as well this summer. He's 23, 24 in October, so he's around the same age as Luiz Felipe as well. However, I do think Milenkovic is a better defender of the two. He's a very strong tackler and reminds me a bit of either Jaap Stam or Man Utd, having the brute force to dominate attackers in one-on-ones and in the air. Milenkovic would bring the physicality and dominance that United lack from their centre-back partnership, and I think it would suit Maguire to have such a dominant centre-back next to him. Milenkovic and Luiz Felipe would have to play on the right side of Maguire, as they aren't elite ball-playing centre-backs either, which is why they aren't my main picks, but they are excellent value and are top defenders in my opinion, so would still be very good signings. There are a few players who I think United should avoid. Konate and Merih Demiral are excellent defenders, but their injury record is concerning, with them constantly having injuries throughout the last few seasons, which is why at the present time I would go for another option and see if those two can get more playing time consistently over next season. David Alaba would be a good option for United in terms of current ability, as he'd bring the ball playing ability and defensive assets that would improve United instantly. However, one of United's current weaknesses as centre-backs comes from aerial duels. So for United, I don't think Alaba is the right type of centre-back that they need. Also, the fact that he is soon to be 29, and because he'll be signed on a free, he'll likely have very high wages, does make me want to avoid him, as United don't want to get into a situation where they are paying Alaba big wages throughout his declining years, 32 to maybe 34, because he'll likely demand a 4 or 5 year contract when signing for United this summer. The player I would look to sign would be Sergio Ramos, who looks like he will leave Real Madrid on a free at the end of the season. Ramos has just turned 35, but I still think he has another good couple of seasons left in him at the top level. Whilst he will command a high salary, he'll probably be willing to accept a 2-year contract, taking him to 37, which means unlike Alaba, United won't be tied down to a long-term contract with a declining player on very high wages. Right now, Ramos is one of the best, if not the best centre-back in the world in terms of his presence and leadership on the pitch, his overall defending ability and his performance and goals in big games. Ramos is an excellent one-on-one defender, having the ability to predict where the opposition player will move and then putting in a tackle to win the ball back. This tackling ability can be seen as Ramos has made 1.1 tackles per 90 this season in La Liga and has only been dribbled past 0.3 times per 90, giving him a tackle success rate of around 79%, which is very impressive. Ramos would also be the front foot defender that United need. Maguire, Lindelof and Bailly are all more reactive centre-backs who prefer to sit in the back line and anticipate passes and movement in behind. However, Ramos is very confident when moving out of the back line, following a centre forward deep and then having the reading of the game and sharpness to intercept a pass or put in a tackle to win the ball back. He is especially good at reading the game when the opposition are in a crossing position. Here he doesn't get drawn over towards the ball, he recognises that by holding his position he can cut off the low cross across the box. In this example, he is aware of the centre forward's run towards the near post, and rather than being reactive in this situation as many centre-backs are, he tracks a run from the start and is able to get across and intercept the cross. This means that Ramos would suit playing alongside either Bailly, Lindelof or Maguire, as he can move out to apply the pressure, whilst one of these can hold a deeper position in the back line. Ramos is also going to bring the aerial dominance and leadership qualities that United lack. An example of this was against Roma, when Lindelof was pulled out into the channel and the ball went into Mkhitaryan on the edge of the box, and Pellegrini is able to make a run into the space where Lindelof should be. Maguire should have organised the back line a lot better in this situation, calling Fred to drop back and fill Lindelof's space. Instead, he's far too passive, only focusing on his own game, and doesn't close up the space either, which is where Roma's second goal came from. I think Ramos would have been a lot more assertive with his commands, seeing a potential danger before it comes about in a way that Maguire and Lindelof don't do. On the ball, Ramos also brings the ball playing ability that United need. He's very good in possession when under pressure, having the composure, vision and technical ability to build out from the back into the middle third. But his long passing is also impressive. This season he has completed the second most long passes of any centre-back in La Liga with 8 per 90, whilst only playing 2.1 inaccurate long passes per 90, giving him a long pass completion rate of 79%, which is outstanding for a centre-back. He's also got the ability to dribble past the first line of pressure, which is something Maguire also does well, so having Ramos on the left won't cost United in this department when in possession, looking to break down a side. Now, another option from La Liga for United at centre-back would have been Pau Torres, who is definitely at the level United need. However, he'd likely cost in excess of £50 million, and despite Torres being under 25, I think with Ramos at the current level he is, United should bring in Ramos for 1 or 2 seasons and then look to replace him with a younger centre-back. Ramos will bring the experience and mentality that could really aid this United side, and what has cost United most this season has been a defensive organisation from centre-back, which is where individual mistakes come from. If Ramos can improve United's backline just from a leadership and communicating point of view, then this is going to drastically improve the defenders next to and around him, which will improve United's overall defensive security, which could give them the slight edge in crucial games that have cost them this season. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and click the bell for notifications. Check out some of my other videos, including the other episodes from this series, which will be linked in the description, along with my other transfer series on Chelsea. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more content as well, and give the video a like if you enjoyed the content.